Somebody messaged me the other day, I think her name was Tammy. She was like, oh my God, I finally used my crimper and I love it so much. I'm like, sis, I told you if I went on a deserted island, that's the item I'd bring. Literally, I never have to wash my hair. Maybe once a week, wash my hair. Do you know what else my hair lady told me would help my extensions? Putting dry shampoo between them. I never thought that I should. Oh my God, y'all came back so fast. Oh, thanks. Hi, guys. That was so nice. So, we're doing okay. We've officially been in our little rent house for a year. And while it's not where we want to be forever, I hate the traffic that goes by my backyard. The counselor says it's PTSD. Like, I can't, it just makes me so anxious to hear, like, the cars driving by and shit. But it's working for us right now. Like, this is what we're going to do, and we're okay with it. You know? Oh, that poor kid, man. He just went through some shit. But it's turning out okay. He's held his head high about all of it. I'm sure it's, like, super embarrassing for him. Like, my life's all over the internet. And I always ask him, like, if I ever embarrass you, please tell me. He's like, you know when you embarrass me, Mom? Well, he said it wasn't embarrassing him. It was embarrassing to him that the day that I spray tanned and looked like a chocolate Easter bunny and went to his school. He was like, I was embarrassed for you, Mom. But, I don't know. It's kind of like my ride or die homie. But I still got to be his mom sometimes and check his ass if he's talking to me crazy. Like the other day, I took his phone away for like 6 hours. Doesn't sound like a lot to you, but the kid never gets in trouble. And I was like, no, you don't get to talk to me like that. Are you nuts? Your mouth needs to get checked before you eat some soap. Which he's never had to do that. And I definitely had to do that when I was a kid. But sometimes I'm like, watch it. And I also can tell, like, if he's just having a bad day. Like, sometimes he's just having a bad day. Like, one time, trolls sent him stuff because they're dicks. And it was, some of y'all might have remembered this. It was just a couple weeks ago. But I was on a live video and like he wouldn't come downstairs and change the radio. And I'm like, I was so confused because he's not like that. Like he's always down for the count. Like he's always ready to help. And he just wouldn't. And I couldn't understand what was wrong with him. And turns out, psychos, some people were saying stupid shit. Funny, those same people follow people that have private accounts that should not be following those people. Like how you let people follow you that say stuff to a child is just disgusting, but whatever, to each their own. Oh, there we go. My natural hair just does not stay curled, so this is gonna cover it all up. All right, so I've crimped my roots. I always keep this part down so you can't see the crimpy part. And if I ever crimp too much up here and you can see it, I just run a straightener right through it right there. Or like the barrel of the curling iron to pick it up. So like there's a little bit too much crimpy crimp showing there. So then I just take this. You just have to do it fast because this curling iron, it gets so hot and curls so well that it'll leave a crease in your hair if you don't do it quick. You can't let it sit there. See? Just picture hair up off your head. Like y'all know my hair is like super flat. So, but I washed it yesterday. It's so frizzy because it's raining outside and disgusting. So anyways, instead of getting mad at him, which I was super annoyed and like confused during my video, and then I went upstairs and like sat in his room for 2 hours and we talked and he was telling me what was going on, and I actually, instead of punishing him, ended up like saying like, I'm sorry this happened to you. Is there anything I can do in my career and my social media life to make this not happen? And he was like, Mom, you can't control other people. People are going to be ignorant. And I was like, okay, well, thanks, bud. Because, I mean, trust me, I will give this shit up in a day if it makes my kid unhappy. But he loves it. And all of his friends are really nice about me and to me. And all of their mamas are so nice. And so, where did I put my hair powder? Hold on, I think it's in the other room. So, I'm like, oh, God, that is not my eyeballs. I'm lucky that I get to do this. I knew I dropped this hair powder on the floor. Oh, y'all want to see the new sweaters? Look. This one. Look at the sleeves. Hold on. Put my hair powder down. Aren't those sleeves so cute? And then there's this one. So cute. And then there is this one with the ribbing. It feels so luxurious. And then there's this one. And I don't know which one I want to wear because honestly, I ain't got no pants that fit. Look, I want to take this filter off. Hold on. How do I do that? So you can just see. How did y'all start counseling? I think my stepson would benefit, but I'm not sure how to bring up the conversation. I don't know anybody who's ever been to a counselor except for my ex-husband who didn't like it. I definitely think it's worth it. And if you can get your children to go to counseling and that they want to go, that's absolutely something you should do. Because like they feel safe in that space. You can't ever ask them what they talk about. Please don't do that. It like creates like, you know, they're not supposed to, we're not supposed to ask that question. You just have to have faith that they're like working through whatever they need to work through. And trust me, sometimes, especially because I'm going through the situation I'm going through, it sucks to have to tell my kid, like, I can't answer that for you, but maybe you can talk to your counselor. It makes you feel like a shitty mom sometimes. But also, it's such a safe space for kids to be able to talk about whatever they need to talk about. Like, me and my son do have kind of a different relationship than a lot of people, for sure. He does tell me a lot more stuff than most kids probably tell their parents. But honestly, like, not because I've done anything special, but because he's kind of been forced to have to, like, it's just us going through this thing that we're going through. And so, I don't know. We've always had a very close relationship, though. I was watching those stories. I posted a couple of them from, like, 2018. And, like, even back then, you can tell, like, we're super, super close. But, I mean, that could be a plethora of reasons, too. I don't have other kids to distract me. I don't have a husband. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have any of those things. So, I don't know. But as far as counseling goes, I could not encourage it more. I think it's so healthy. I've been in counseling for years. I started marriage counseling like over 10 years ago. And then we went to a couple different marriage counselors. And then the counselor that I'm with now, my friendly Beth, told me to go to her. And she'd been telling me to go to her for like over a year. And I was like, no. And then I finally went to her and I'm like, oh my God, I love her. And then like Libeth died like 4 days after my first counseling appointment. So it was kind of weird for me because she sent me there and then now she's not here and I don't know. It was just weird. But now I love it so much because, I don't know, I can like reflect about me and her to my counselor. My counselor like knows what's going on and stuff. So it's just good. But as far as kids go with counseling, I highly recommend it. Especially if you feel like you're disconnected from your kid. I've never like sat in on a session. I've never told the counselor what to talk about or suggested anything or anything like that because I don't even know what the rules are. I just don't want to get in trouble because I'm going through this divorce stuff. But I do know, dang, did I have to melt that? The brand is Mint, I think. I'll link it on my stories if y'all remind me. I just think it's good for kids. I really do. Like a lot of times I feel like they can't talk to a lot of people. So going to a counselor is great. Find one that takes insurance, though, because now we're stuck in this position where my counselor doesn't take insurance, and we love them all so much, and so that is kind of hard. It's something I have to budget for now, but it's definitely something. Also, it's a huge fucking red flag if somebody does not want their child to go to counseling, okay? So whether it be you or your partner or someone else, that is a glaring banner of a red flag if your partner does not want your child to go to counseling. Definitely the child needs to be in counseling if that's the case. So my kid goes to counseling. Like I made absolutely sure it was something that was put into our court orders so that he had to go. Not he has to go, but if he wants to go, he can go. And he does want to go. And we go every week. We used to go on Mondays. Now we go on Tuesdays. Sometimes we have to go on Wednesdays, like if they're booked. But we love it. He does his homework. We have like a little routine. Okay. How's this look, guys? Gotta go try on my sweaters. Like, look how good the hair curled, too. Dang. Called Invisible Bead Method. My hair powder is called Miracle Hair, and apparently it's like unavailable on Amazon. So I wouldn't get Topic because Topic is the same price as this, $24.95 for a 12 milligram bottle, and this is, or 12 gram bottle. This is 25 grams. There's another brand right now that is out there. That same. You just look up black hair fibers or brown hair. Just look up hair fibers, and it'll show you other brands. They're all the same. But I've been using this brand for 10 years and I love it so much. And it just fills in all the gaps. Like there's probably a bald spot on the back of my head, but my extensions are so high, it kind of does cover it. Let me see. Oh yeah, so see right here? Watch. I can't see, hold on. Just a couple little taps. See? It covers it all up. And that's all you do. It's so easy. And honestly, here's the thing. Kids want boundaries. Kids want structure, all those things. While we think it might be a hard conversation to have with a kid about sending them to counseling, like if you make it sound like it's a place where they can go and feel safe and discuss things that might be bothering him, and that counselor, remind them the counselor is never going to tell the parent what the child says. Unless they're harming themselves or others, the counselor will not tell the parent what's going on, and I think that's fabulous. It is none of our business what happens in that room. My kid can say anything he wants about anything. He does often come out and like tell me stuff, but that's just because he wants to. Don't think you're any less of a mom if your kid doesn't tell you. My kid and I are just different because like we're just different. I don't know. It's just different. We're like super close, but like he tells me stuff that he feels like he learned to make himself better. It doesn't make you good or bad if your kid comes out of counseling and doesn't want to tell you anything. Know that it is good for them to be in that room and it's healthy for them to be there. Hi, guys. Thanks. Oh, I did not like my hair all short in those videos, but thank you. No. Okay, let's go try on some sweaters real quick. You want to while we got a couple minutes? Am I still going to Orange Theory? No. I know. Look. I should, too, so I'm getting fat in places I definitely didn't have fat before. But baby steps, you know? I'm trying to, like, get on the track with working all the time and, like, trying to steer away from figuring out the why is this happening to me, which kept me in a funk for a long time. So I'll eventually get back into the working out thing a little bit at a time, very slowly. But honestly, like I'm okay with being chunky right now. It is what it is. What did they send him? How did y'all start counseling? Oh, honestly, have the conversation. It's the best thing you could do. Plus, our kids know if we're doing stuff that's like beneficial for them, and my kid knows that me sending him to counseling, I'm doing that because I genuinely give a shit about his mental state. And I want him to be emotionally available for a woman one day, you know? I want him to feel like he can be emotionally healthy. And counselors, they don't always tell you like sunshine and roses. Sometimes my counselor's like, you're being dumb. Or, why are you doing this? You know better. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So also don't ever not tell your counselor the truth. I tell my counselor 100%. The first day I met her, I told her 2 worst things I'd ever done in my life because I wanted her to know this is who I am. I never tell her, but I'll tell you this. One time I was in a shit relationship and I went to her and I started talking to her about it and I left that office and I thought, oh my God, did I tell her too much? And I knew that me thinking to myself, did I tell her too much, meant I did not need to be in that relationship. Because you should never feel like, did I tell them too much? Like they're there to know everything. And it's very validating too when you do, like, how do I say this? You're doing the right thing, I guess, because sometimes you don't know. So that's just, I don't know how to say that. I'll tell you that later, I guess. All right, I got 4 sweaters to pick from. And I guess I'll just find